This is not good. Worlds are colliding.
We were smart enough to not say, Houston, there's a light out there that's following us.
And what the hell is that? You know, what is that? And I couldn't even talk. I was just amazed at what I was seeing.
This is the Beast of the Week podcast.
All right, there's my clap.
All right.
That's what she said.
You guys ready?
That's what she said.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Are you ready to podcast?
That is our
copyright infringement.
that is our fantastic.
No.
We have a George Costanza quote in the intro to our show.
Yeah.
We're gonna get flagged eventually.
Eventually, we have to get George here.
You think Jason Alexander is going to sue us for this? That means he listens.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We will make it when we get flagged for copyright.
That's a
Love
victory.
that.
Welcome to the Beast of the Week podcast. I'm John Cannon.
I'm Joe McGlinchey.
I'm Samuel Harris.
And I'm Toria Ainsworth.
And in our first 5-person episode, we're bringing back an old friend. Do you remember the Denver airport? We have, on the weekend of his birthday, Brian Peterson!
Yo, I'm
Happy
here. What's up?
birthday
I'm
to
Brian
you.
Peterson. It's my
Happy
birthday. on Monday.
birthday
Listen
to you. This
Happy
is not gonna
birthday,
sync
dear
up, god
birthday.
damn it. Happy
That's
birthday.
stupid. Fuck yourself.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Here.
That's not gonna sync up
I'll take it.
at all.
That's not important.
It's okay. I loved it. I don't care how in sync it is. I want the listeners to know I fucking loved it.
We have a lot of birthdays coming up. We have Brian's birthday, my
Your
birthday.
Yeah.
My birthday just happened.
It's
Happy
Tori's
birthday, Sam.
too.
I forgot. I'm
That's
sorry.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sam.
Sam's 40 years old.
I'm 72 and I'm loving it.
Happy birthday, mate. Yeah.
72
Me
is
and
the new
Laura-
13.
Oh.
Me and Lauren Coleman have been hanging out by the fucking
Lake.
links.
Welcome to
But
Beast
we're
of the Week podcast.
Playing golf, I guess.
Hey, guys. Jailbait, more like retirement home bait, am I right?
Robbing the cradle, more like robbing the grave.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Speaking of-
that's so wrong.
That's on you, Toria.
Speaking of robbing the grave, grave robbers are, pretty common legend in certain towns, and that is what we're covering today.
That was such an uncomfortable break.
Urban legends.
They're
Really?
pretty
Because
common.
it sounds like you're
legends.
grave robbers.
All I'm saying is that grave robbers are why we had the Renaissance.
No.
Yes.
Not quite that way.
The only reason we learned how to paint bodies actually was because Leonardo da Vinci used to go and buy bodies from grave robbers because that was illegal
Yeah.
under the
That's true.
court.
There's a lot of other people.
Did you know?
in the Renaissance.
Did you know DiCaprio actually only has one Oscar?
He also barely buys bodies from grave robbers.
Hey,
But
man, I
we
just want to
can't
say this right
say
now.
that.
I mean, yeah,
It-
grave
that-
robbers are pretty common. I'm a grave
Wait,
robber.
hold on.
Allegedly.
What the fuck?
Allegedly.
You just say,
Allegedly.
like,
Exactly.
did you just like space-time jump from Leonardo DiCaprio, actually from Leonardo the artist?
What's his last name? No,
I know
say it.
Da
What is it?
Vinci.
No, I wasn't asking you. I don't think I was gonna
I
get
mean,
this.
that,
Bye.
that's
I would go
it.
so far as
I'm
to
just
say
saying
he
that
wasn't
was a
gonna
quick
answer.
jump. There's other people in
brought-
the fucking Renaissance than Leonardo da Vinci.
No. But I time jumped. But I
Yeah,
brought
but he was
all
the
of
one
you
who was
with me.
famous for it. He went and got the
What?
corpses, he learned how to draw bodies, and now we don't have weird shit like the
most
medieval
famous. He's
times.
the most famous
He's the most famous.
because he was
No,
the Renaissance
he was the most
man.
famous
With
for
that.
getting the bodies. That was his thing. That's why he was able to do bodies so well, because he learned how they worked, because he
Yeah,
worked with
but I'm-
living body
but
or
I'm-
dead bodies.
But I'm not saying. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But
I'm just backing up the
I'm
fact
not
that I
attacking
said
you. Why are
the
you?
Renaissance
Why are you
happened
repeating like I'm
because of-
attacking you?
because everyone told me that
fighting!
was
Nobody
wrong.
did it.
Mommy and Daddy, stop fighting!
Sam, will you tell John that he probably wasn't the only person in the Renaissance era to do it? However, he is the most famous.
I was just saying.
No.
the Renaissance
Yeah.
happened
I didn't talk to
because
you.
of the
I
grave
talked to
robbing.
Sam to talk to you. Sam,
man.
tell him.
The
Sam?
Renaissance
Okay,
was-
okay.
Sam.
Here's what I have to say to the two of you.
The reconnaissance also happened because of dead bodies.
Hey!
Yeah.
I'm not done.
You didn't start.
Okay, between the two of you, Renaissance and Renaissance. I just shit my pants.
All right. We have our first tangent of the night out of the way.
God, we haven't even
Jesus
started
Christ.
yet.
It-
Barely
it-
introduced
It's a tequila night on this side because it's Brian's birthday, and we are covering
It's
urban
Cinco de
legends. And
Cinco de Mayo.
I would like to throw, Cinco.
Hey, Cinco.
Cinco.
Sweaty hands.
Sweaty hand.
It's the third.
But
Shut up.
Sunday
Florida.
will be the Cinco.
This isn't going out for a few weeks. It doesn't matter.
Let me just make
Bien-
it clear. My
Bio.
birthday is May 6th, not today, but
Unfortunately, we did not do the
I'm okay
Chon
with it.
Chon.
Shut the fuck
for
up.
Cinco de
Happy
Mayo.
birthday.
That's true.
I appreciate it.
All right.
guys.
Yeah,
Let's
probably should have, but
the die had been cast, and
Yep.
May the 4th be with
I'm
you.
gonna punch you in the throat, you fucking nerd.
It's the
Let's talk about monsters.
nerd.
No, so
Let's talk about shit.
what we're covering today is urban legends, and I would like to get this out at the top, in the middle, and the bottom. I'm going to talk about this a lot. Listeners, we love urban legends.
Yeah.
Every town has their own crazy story about that one house on
You're
the
being
corner.
so forceful with this.
Or that legend over there. Send us your urban legends, because I want to know what goes on in different corners of this great country of ours and God's green earth. I want to know what happens in your area. So send
And
us your
also
urban
beyond
legends.
this country.
I just said the earth.
Liberal cowards.
I just said the earth.
Hey, but also feel free to send in your suburban and rural legends as well.
He's got a
We're,
point.
we're
Just make
open to
clear.
all of them.
Send us your
probably
legends.
Probably the rural ones will be better.
True.
Probably.
And I will say this episode, shout out to our good boy Trenton Nesbitt,
Trenton,
because you will have a cryptid on this episode.
does he?
He rated us on iTunes, and he did give us a cryptid that is urban.
He did.
So yes, that
Also-
is one of mine. Yep.
Also, Trenton, this is your second shout out because you're a fucking G and you're repping our show left and right, writing to us. You're a good dude. You guys want a shout out? Be like Trenton.
Hey, Trenton, I don't really know you because I'm not a part
be
of this
like
show,
Trenton.
but sounds like you're a cool guy, man.
All right, so let's.
Hey, Trenton.
Thanks,
Hey,
Trenton.
Trenton.
We all
You
love
seem
you.
like a good, all right, man.
You're
but
not
let me-
nearly drunk enough for the Arthur Morgan.
But I want
Holy
to be.
shit.
I want to be.
This is the
We
shout
got
out.
the Henny, we got the tequila.
It was the
we'll get there.
nicest comment. I have been riding the high of that comment since I read it.
We will not be able to do this for everybody.
Unforgivable.
Hopefully, eventually we can't, but for the time being, each individual comment
Yeah.
will get a significant spot in this.
No, there was some guy that I texted you this morning.
Say his name.
Oh,
Say
I'm
his-
Matt.
trying to fucking find it.
Matthew Aronoff.
That's on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a Facebook one.
Hey,
What?
Matt.
You got
thanks
it?
For the
Tori,
shout
if you
out.
wanna-
Whoa, just fucking just jump into it when we're all talking. Damn. My name is Joe, by the way. It's nice to meet all of you.
What?
Holy shit!
Why'd
This is
y'all
the
yell
worst
fucking
episode
yell at
we've
me?
ever done.
Can
Why'd
someone
y'all
give him a
fucking yell at
proper
me?
shout out?
Yeah.
Yes!
Ah!
Tori.
Holy fuck, it's my friend Matt. Matt,
Oh.
thank you for the fucking comment.
Can you say it normal? Because I'm cutting like
Yeah,
most of
it's all
that.
we got.
Holy fucking shit, you guys.
No, you should keep that in.
This episode is going to be 8 hours long. There's no way I'm keeping that.
Good.
in. I gotta pee already. Let's go.
God, thank you for the fucking comment.
Do you want me to read what he
No, I
fucking
want you to
wrote?
give a shout out.
Okay.
Let me do it.
No.
Well, I tried to fucking do it and I got fucking yelled at.
Yeah, and I'm telling you to just read it normal.
it.
Take a deep
Stop
breath.
fighting. Holy shit. Just fucking say it.
Fuck off.
No, I'm not saying to you. I'm saying John. Just shut up. I love you.
Speaking of shout-outs, shout out to Matthew Aronoff for giving us a nice comment there on our Facebook. Matt's great.
Happy
Keep up the good
Paranormal
work.
Day.
Happy Paranormal Day.
Hey, Matt,
Thank
I don't
you
know
for
you
Matt,
either.
because I didn't know that was a thing.
Matt, you're a
Woke up
cool
to
guy.
a great message, and
We-
that was you, Matt.
When you guys send us nice words, it really makes our day. Yeah, for me, my
Also,
week
it
easily.
it did give me a good chortle at the lab.
Can you put the knife down?
Hey, Matt, I don't know you, but if you want to
I don't
send
want
me
to
a
have
nice
any
message
problems.
too,
all
I'll
right?
take it.
All
I
right.
don't want to have any problems.
Guys, this
That's
is
why I got the knife.
we're off the rails and we haven't even covered shit. So
Yeah, we're so off the rails that the fucking goat man is like, where'd they go? Where'd they go? All right. So I understand that this week everybody has gathered a couple of delicious urban legends.
Yeah.
yep.
Who wants to take the first round?
I'll
Urban-
take the first round because mine is the least researched.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I have to pee already.
Okay.
All right, go pee. I'm gonna do a little segment real quick
fast. I'm gonna be
A segment?
while you do that. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna say what an urban legend is.
Oh, yeah.
Hurry up and do it. He's already
Definitively.
peeing. Hurry up. He's already peeing.
Yeah, I just gotta find my mouse. I gotta look up
Oh,
the.
fuck. I didn't eat dinner. That's why. I haven't had food in like fucking 7 hours.
Just start going in on
Nobody
live.
cares.
Tori, I'm sorry for yelling at you. I didn't mean to be that mean.
You also threatened me with a knife.
No, I was.
Yeah, it's true.
No, I was the guardian of the galaxy on that one.
No, you
I didn't want
threatened
any
me
trouble.
through the computer
All right.
with a knife.
All right,
All right, everybody shut
you.
up. Everybody shut up. Let's say him go.
All right,
Let's say him
Toria, I just want to let you know.
let
I
me
feel
just
bad.
put
Hey,
this.
listen, I feel bad. I'm sorry. Put it down. I'm sorry. I
Hey,
feel
both
bad.
of you, shut up.
No, okay.
I got a gun.
All right. Let's.
I got a gun.
All right, okay.
All right. So, just so this is in the audio. An urban legend, urban myth, urban tale, or contemporary legend from Wikipedia is a modern genre of folklore, much like the, Beasts of the Lumberwoods. They consist of fictional stories, supposedly, often presented as true, with macabre or humorous elements rooted in popular culture. These legends can be used for entertainment purposes or for horror purposes.
I love horror porpoises.
Yeah, these are terrifying
Spooky
porpoises.
Our entire show can be summed up by horror porpoises.
Yeah.
I consider
As
myself
well as I will say one of my cryptids is actually off the Cape Porpoise.
Nice.
Yep. As well as semi-serious explanations for random events such as disappearances and strange objects. So, Joey, I believe you'd like to take the reins on this one.
Yeah, I'll take the reins. I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm very drunk right now. I should have eaten some.
I'm pretty sure we could.
These horses. Are you ready to take the reins? These
Hold
horses.
on,
Fight horses, Joe. Fight horses.
It's all right, girl.
Shout out to episode 5. I was on that too.
Yeah.
Dealt with a horse.
True.
Lucifer. What's up, man?
Lucifer. Shout out
No.
to Lucifer.
Shout out to Lucifer. That was the first episode I was on. It was cool.
Yeah, so my story is from back when we were seniors in high school. That wonderful year of
Times.
2013. Oh, what a time. Oh, to be young again.
I don't want that to happen.
Nah, that would suck, actually. But anyway,
Fine with senior year, but only senior year.
senior year was good. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad with that. But regardless, we were driving around with some people in the car back in the old Jeep Grand Cherokee.
I don't think I was there.
No, you weren't. You weren't part of this, actually. It
I
was,
wasn't really friends
It was
with you guys.
You're a post-grad high school friend.
Yup.
No, this was more of an event for the Mudgers and the Locks of the world.
Shout out.
John Locke from Lost.
Low key shouts.
What is a mudger?
A Mudger is one who you think might be gay for a long time, but ends up not being. That's not appropriate to say. A Mudger.
No.
A Mudger is one who dresses with high fashion that seems to change rapidly every 3 months or so.
Is somehow the flakiest of the flakiest friend groups of all time.
I haven't seen him in so long, but we texted today.
But let's just make sure, stand-up guy.
Stand-up guy.
Stand-up guy.
Good
What a
guy.
great gentleman.
You might see him sometime in the
Class
next
act.
5 years.
He's a class act. So we're driving around. Obviously, what are you going to do on a suburban Friday night to go possibly partake in the reefer? But as all nights, we have our...
No. We don't.
Yes.
We don't say
You
that.
can't... Well,
You can say
No,
it.
you can say that.
That's fine.
It's a
Okay.
personal choice.
Not me, it's my friend.
All right.
It's also recreational illegal in our state.
Well, it wasn't at that point. It was a felony.
No,
At that point, it was a felony.
It was
a misdemeanor.
It was decriminalized.
It was a misdemeanor.
But anyway, so we're looking for a place to smoke. Had not smoked yet. Key. And we're going to one of the normal spots. So we go
Obviously, you wouldn't have been driving if you had.
No, obviously not.
No, you walk home after you
Good.
smoke.
Then we're good.
You walk. You bring camps and tents and shit.
Did that
Or you ask your younger brother to get you. So we're driving around and we go to one of our favorite spots, the beautiful Cushing
Nah, man,
Cemetery.
you can't blow up the spot, dude.
couch.
You can't blow up
Yeah,
the
don't
spot.
blow up the spot.
All right. You know, the wonderful secret spot, secret beach.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going there. We're trying to smoke down there. And it's off of a cemetery. So you have to drive through a cemetery to get there. And of course, we're all in the car, probably listening to some old Cuddy. Just getting in the zone.
In the cut zone.
In the Cud zone. And we got to drive through this graveyard. We've done it numerous times.
Tons of times.
And so as we're coming along, we just plan on parking in the side lot and walking down to the secret beach. And as we're driving, it's kind of like a circle. So we come across the beginning of the turn, and my lights fall on something that's obviously not supposed to be there. Very noticeable. And so in front of one of the graves, we saw a little girl in like a polka dot dress. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. It's weird. It's weird. But initially we didn't have any reaction because we're like, all right, this is like gotta be some weird prank or something. And we kept turning the car around. And my lights fell upon this older man, like an old timey suit. Dude, there was just like a lot of people in the fucking graveyard just standing there.
Estimate the number of people.
If I had to estimate, I'd say 30
people?
to 40.
Holy shit.
There was
That's a bad concert.
No. So there was a lot of people just standing there in like nice dress wear that was like old, nice dress time wear. Or old timey nice dress wear.
Are we talking a night funeral?
We're talking I'm talking this is fucking
How
This
old?
sounds like
between
a cult.
11:30 to midnight on a Friday night. What do you mean how old for
The clothing.
So-
What period?
like 60s, 50s?
Okay.
We should verify this later also by heading there. But anyway, we're driving and we're seeing that and we're just all screaming at this point because that's not supposed to happen. Absolutely not supposed to happen.
No.
So we're going and we just peel out of there and we go down to the next parking point, which was like by the river, and we were just freaking out. We had a lady with us that was the GF at the time. Guest shout out.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. Probably don't listen to this, but good.
Soon you will.
Soon, maybe. But yeah, just we're crying. Everyone's a little freaked out. We didn't know what we saw. It was just wrong. Never went back there.
You never went back
nope,
there?
Have not been there back. Like been back there since.
Hey, man, I get it. I know that exact like 2 mile stretch on that river, man. The North River. It's spooky, man.
yeah,
it's
spooky.
I know plenty of
A lot
stories.
of fog
man.
up there.
To set the scene of this place, I actually, in Boy Scouts, we used to camp there a lot. Every year we had a, half the crew would canoe in, the ones who didn't want to canoe in, because it's right on the river. And it's this beautiful campground.
Oh, it's amazing.
Absolutely.
But to get there, if you don't take the river, you have to drive through a cemetery, which I actually don't know the age of it, but I would say 50s to 60s.
No,
It's not that old.
Older.
There's
It's older.
There's still
It's
plot.
so weird.
There's still plots there, so it's not like
Is there? Yeah.
So me, Brian, and Joey are all from the same town, and we actually in our town we have a veteran cemetery that goes back to the Revolutionary War because our town,
we have graves actually that go back to the 1600s.
Yeah, we're from.
TVAF, shout out, and Sam Broderick.
Yep.
Did a project on the cemeteries and the history of Norwell, but
Yeah.
very very old.
Just to put it in perspective, we're like 40 minutes north of Plymouth.
Yeah, we're very
super old
close
town.
to the origins of America, but this particular cemetery, compared to our old cemeteries, there's still plots available. So it's not exactly, I don't know, available, but they're empty. So it's not exactly an ancient cemetery. So 50s, 60s sounds right, but point being, you drive through the cemetery to get to like a 2-car parking lot, and then you walk like a mile and a half, 2 miles.
I'll be honest, it's realistically it's only like maybe half mile to 3/4 of a mile, but
It seems long.
It's a long
spooky.
walk.
It's
yeah.
just like it's
trip.
spooky. You don't see anything.
You go
more
through marshland and
yeah,
shit.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
And then you get to
Vernal
the
pools.
campsite, and you guys were heading to the campsite, and you were in the cemetery itself when you
Driving
saw
through
this.
it, yeah, driving
yeah,
through the
yeah.
cemetery. Our lights just like came across them. And from knowing ghosts, that shouldn't be the kind of thing.
Why's that?
I just
What
feel
if
like
it was
ghosts.
like a cultist
There's
thing?
ghosts just do not usually present themselves in that sort of fashion. I think if there's like someone coming into the graveyard, it's more of a passive thing. But thinking about that,
if they wanted you to see
yeah,
it.
it's true.
Yeah,
If they
that's
wanted me to see-
true.
if something was maybe it was a special night, it was in the summer, like getting towards the summer.
Polka dot dress seems like a summer wear.
Yeah, I mean it was haunting. But if you think about the fact that it could have been real, because I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, yeah, I saw this shit. It was crazy. I think I talked about this briefly on an earlier
You
episode.
did in
but
the Dover Demon episode,
Yeah.
episode 4. Listen to it.
great episode, very very fun to.
My
record.
favorite episode.
Yeah, really fun. No, I mean, even if you see, shut up, Sam. if you see people and it's like a bunch of people out there, that's a little even more worrying.
If you see people in there that aren't on the trail to go to the campsite,
No, they're just standing
It's bizarre.
in the graves wearing these old, like, great prank, like great fucking
No,
prank. But that's a big risk. People usually don't go down there.
Now, I don't want to
Yeah.
detract from what you're saying, but Tori, you mentioned cults. Could you expand on that?
Well, no, like, I mean, Sam and I recently watched, what was that movie, Hereditary?
Hereditary's
Ooh,
fucking
it's a
great.
good one.
And
Could have been.
And there's like that scene where, I mean, they're not in a graveyard, but they're like all of the cult members are like dressed in the same way. In a lot of like motifs, like they'll dress in a certain way, and maybe they were trying to like summon something at a graveyard.
That's what I was
And-
thinking this morning, actually.
Can I just
Yeah.
interject really quick to say
sure.
that the oldest record at that cemetery is actually 1801.
Okay,
Really?
Yep.
There you go.
that's very early, but actually kind of mid-range
18
for our area.
But it makes sense that you'd say there's, because I don't know when the last time you were there was, but
Been a
they
while.
stopped filling spots in 2016.
Okay,
That
'cause
would make a lot of sense.
I know that
This was
because
2013.
a girlfriend at the time for me, her dad's friend is actually buried at that
okay.
cemetery, and that was maybe like 2014 in there.
Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely pretty old. I mean, it's only what 40 or so years after like the 40 years after
40 years
the
after
independence.
independence,
Yeah, so
yeah.
you know, it's definitely pretty old. But it's a good one, man. There's that whole area is creepy. I don't like that.
It's
I go there a
spooky.
lot,
It's-
but I
it's
don't
somewhat
like
haunting.
it.
It's definitely one of those places you go to spook yourself. Even like
Yeah.
the cemetery, or not the campsite there. There is a spookiness over that area.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't my my urban legend, but your story, Joe, reminds me of in sophomore year of undergrad, we would go through like night walks through the woods behind UVM, and it puts you out in a cemetery. And the last night we did that, we saw what looked like a woman in a old-timey flowy white dress, like kind of just walking.
Oh shit.
We screamed.
Where we went to school?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You know.
No. No.
You know the big cemetery on Colchester Ave?
No.
Wait, on Colchester?
Colchester Ave? Yeah.
Yeah, I know that one.
Oh, like right past Richardson and the Trinity.
Yeah.
Right where
Not
we
not the
fucking-
tiny
Oh,
one.
Shit.
Not the tiny one, the
Oh.
gated one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it was like Will and Brendan and Jen, and we all saw it and screamed and booked it out.
Yeah,
of there.
reasonably.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
never went back. That was
Just
the last time we
spooky
went
stuff.
on a night
Ooh.
walk. Yeah.
I don't like that.
Old
I don't like
cemetery.
that.
Well, no, old cemetery.
Especially-
I mean, like that like kind of. I'm just like a million thoughts are coming out at once. That's kind of stuff that I like to think happens because I love books like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Yeah.
what do you
recently I just finished the Graveyard book, also by Neil Gaiman. Highly suggested read, but like that's the kind of stuff I think of with ghosts. This
that-
was.
You know what's really interesting about that too is with that whole like woman in the white dress, that's a really common story actually told across
Yeah.
the country. But the reason is, I mean, a lot of cemeteries naturally are fairly old, and a lot of like old timey women were dressed in burial gowns. They had these gowns designed, and they were more often than not white because ascending to heaven, the most logical thing would be to be buried in white.
Because
nowadays
it's innocent, exactly.
Yeah, nowadays you see them in black. Actually, that's the thing in, I believe it's Korea, and if I'm wrong, honestly, please correct me on social media. I believe it's Korea where it's actually really faux pas to wear white at a wedding because it symbolizes death.
I know that Japan is that way. I'm not sure about any other Asian culture.
It's all related.
South Korea has a lot of Japanese.
I believe. Fuck. I'm gonna offend somebody. It's either ancient China or ancient Japan, and I wish I had it off the top of my head who it was.
It's offensive.
I believe it was Japan. But the nobles would effectively dye their teeth black because the white of the teeth resembled tombstones.
Huh.
There's a lot of history behind, just death and what colors symbolize it, and it's almost universally white or black.
Wyndham Earl in Twin Peaks actually came into one scene with black teeth and a white face, and that was terrifying. Significance of it, I actually
Japanese.
haven't finished the thing
Japanese?
yet, but
Yes, it is a practice called ohaguro, which may be translated as blackened teeth.
Okay.
Damn. As somebody that studied Japanese war history, I have no reconnaissance of that.
So this article that I'm looking at says that it's primarily women who do it.
Right.
As a sign of beauty. But also it was practiced in different parts of the world, including Southeast Asia, the Pacific Islands, and even South America, but most commonly associated with Japan.
So I will say that reminds me, I've been playing Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Good for you, man. That shit looks so hard.
Yeah, no, it's not fun. It's really not, because I can't drink while playing that. And there are kappas in the game, and they do
my second favorite episode
as a special attack. Go through your liver.
There we go.
Oh,
they eat your shurikedama.
I understand that.
Now on that same video game sense, so I'm playing because Sekiro way too hard. So I started playing God of War.
Ooh, hell yeah!
I'm sitting around, sitting around on the beaches,
tropics,
and then my little buddy, my friend, my son in the game goes, Tetzelfam!
Whoa, what?
I'm just like,
yeah, Sam screamed.
What?
Wait, they mentioned the Tatzelverm in that?
Tatzelverms are an enemy.
No.
Oh my god!
What? In God of War, they're there.
That's amazing.
I really wanted to play that game. I ordered it, and it got stolen out of the mailroom at my old apartment, and so I never played it.
John, that's your type.
I gotta
game.
play it.
It's so good.
They got so much lore. Tatzelverms.
All right, let's get into Brian here.
Yep.
Oh fuck. Okay, it's my turn.
Take it away, B-boy.
Okay. So how do I do this? So it's really funny that you actually were talking about that whole stretch of the river. I think I mentioned it earlier, but it's just super creepy. It's like 2 miles of that river it's all marsh field essentially.
Yeah.
That's just really creepy. But so my brother once was in the middle of the day, it was probably 2:30, was walking along the trail and halfway into this conservation area, which is like a mile long.
I just want to be sure, like, this is the same path that Joey was talking about. Right?
No, it's like a mile down the road.
Okay.
So it's like a mile down the road,
Same
but
river.
maybe like
Same
river, same area, the same woods.
Same
because
aura.
It's all along this, it's in the same stretch of woods.
Yeah.
But was walking along this path. I was about halfway through the conservation area, and the trail itself is a mile long, almost exactly. Just finds a perfectly clean-cut, essentially butchered deer head in the middle of the trail.
Yikes.
I have a picture of it. Like, it's perfect. There's no way an animal did this. It had to be, because it was clean cut. There was no blood. It was almost like it was just placed there. And he said that he felt like a really, really strong sense of being watched the whole time that he was on this trail. And I get that on that exact same trail numerous times. Yeah, we've been there numerous times. I don't think I've ever been there without being watched or without the overwhelming feeling of being
You and I
watched.
went there a few months ago, right before winter really hit.
Yeah.
And there's a dock at the end of it. And I just kept expecting to look at the hillside off the dock and seeing someone watching us.
Yeah. It's just a continuous feeling the whole time you're there. And whether or not it's human, it's just one of those things. Like it doesn't feel like it's organic. It doesn't feel like it's a real thing that's watching us, but it's overwhelming. And it's the whole time you're on that trail, basically 100 feet in. I don't know. I get it. I think that those woods in particular harbor some real genuine shit.
Something's going on there.
Right.
It feels weird there. Even in Boy Scouts, before we had our experiences there, like I've had my own experiences there.
Yeah.
Have you
Something
gone
about
swimming
there.
in the river?
Number of times.
Just
yeah,
one-
we floated
just
on a
once.
log down there
big
once.
ass log. Something about being in that river as well. I feel like just a little unsafe.
I've also fished a snapping turtle out of that river, so that's a natural reason to be afraid of the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah. I feel
Even like people that
my
aren't
penis is always at risk.
even people that aren't from the area, like one of my really good friends from school came down. He lives in Waltham, which is far as hell away. And he said the same shit. This almost 5 minutes into the hike down the same trail that I've been talking about, he mentioned that it wasn't sitting right. It was something there watching us. And it's not just a territorial thing. I'm sure
Eerie place.
Yeah. I mean, even people with the most slightly open minds, I feel like must experience some sort of uncomfortability there.
Definitely.
We should try to test this. I'm
We
gonna-
should.
Yeah,
You guys should come down and check it out.
Yeah.
that
No,
sounds
that's
really
quiet.
fun.
But besides the spookiness,
Can I bring my Ouija board?
Sure.
I'll allow the Ouija board on this.
Hey, John and I had.
It's like
Shit.
Oh shit!
Hey, just saying.
Interesting.
Go.
You just had me approved to a Ouija board?
Yes.
That's impressive.
Hey, let me just say, John and I are going full in on a ghost box.
We're getting a ghost box.
So a spirit box, if you know. We're going
I'm
in.
actually very excited.
Yeah, let's do this summer.
Yeah, let's do it.
I took the most beautiful picture I've ever taken there. You know, it's
the
not
most-
just...
It's a beautiful.
Yeah, it's
place.
not just spooky, it's gorgeous.
How expensive is the spirit box?
It's like
70
$80,
bucks, 80
yeah,
bucks.
Yeah, we can make this a group thing.
Well, no, I really want to get my hands on one just to open it up.
70 bucks.
This has nothing to do with the podcast. I've seen them on like different ghost adventure shows, and I really want to open it up and just see what's in
So
it.
you can theoretically make one by getting rid of the cord in an AM/FM radio
I think
that
we're talking
does
about
the
different
automatic
things.
tuning.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about.
But you
different
can get one that's like pre-made to do that, and it's supposedly better. And
Because it cycles through radio
Frequencies.
frequencies.
yeah.
Certain freak.
Yo, which by the way, to all the listeners out there, the best ghost box scene you'll ever see. You got to watch the documentary Hellier. The full series is on YouTube, but if you have Amazon Prime, it's on there too. I'm serious. You got to fucking watch it.
We're gonna cover some of that shit soon.
It's really good.
Going back to like possibly going for a fun walk through these woods, I think with the exception of the night in the graveyard, I don't think I've ever had like that spooky feeling of someone watching me out in like nature. We have like a number of like very old forests on the Cape. And gone walking there, never really anything. The honestly, the most uncomfortable I've ever felt was walking around my childhood home, which my dad and my
Is
grandfather
that the one I
built.
slept in?
Yeah.
I got a spooky feeling in that room.
I've
too.
had a couple
Yeah, it's
of
a
ghost
spooky house.
experiences in there, or like just weird experiences in this house that my dad and my grandfather built, so it's not an old house.
It's a gorgeous house. It's just spooky.
It's very spooky, and
Yeah, the
that's
spookiest thing in that house is the picture of you with cat ears going kind of like.
from
She
my
has
first
cat ears
anime.
on. It's an
Yeah.
anime character. She's like,
Yes, it's from my very first anime
can we
convention.
post that on the Instagram?
If yes, we can.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're about to take a tequila shot, so hold on.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Nah, dude,
But
we're
no,
doing
like,
this live. You're not
I've
cutting
never
this out.
had
Hey,
that.
listeners, we're
All
doing
right,
a
I'm there
tequila
with you,
shot.
bud.
All right, guys, it's Brian Peterson's birthday. We're gonna do a tequila shot live. Ready?
Almost
Yep.
his birthday.
Yeah,
But
almost. It
happy
counts.
birthday. Cheers.
Happy
Cheers.
birthday, Brian. Cheers.
Cheers.
Do another.
Delicious.
Who doggy?
I did not do a tequila shot. I'm sorry.
Should I tell the story of my haunted apartment?
Please.
Yeah.
So, to those of us who haven't seen through the veil of Beast Louise podcast, Sam and Toria live in the tropics of Manchester. We live in the subtropics of Massachusetts, and we're recording in my apartment. And the fun thing is, my apartment, I'm fairly certain, is haunted. And it's absolutely not a malicious haunting. I'm at peace with my ghosts. But, to go through exactly what's gone on here, an interesting thing that I think that you guys can all not attest to, but that you guys can all relate with. In the recording of the Rake episode, the research and the editing, which was our first episode, so I spent more time editing that than I did the other ones. I experienced a spike in my haunting experiences.
Interesting.
And so exactly what's gone on in this apartment, I'll go through right now. Now I moved in. It's an old building. It's in, the Boston area, and everything here is old. And I moved in. And so first things first, when I move into a place, I'm not exactly someone who does the new agey stuff, but I give it some credit. I give everything some credence. And when I move somewhere, I do the whole sage smudge ceremony to the extent that I know how.
Yep.
Right after I did this, because I did this maybe the fourth night I was here, I didn't have a bundle of sage, everything got a little more active. And so you'll be sitting on the couch in the living room, and there's a long hallway between the living room and the bedroom, and you will hear something as though the TV were on in the bedroom down the hall, as though it were right next to you. Like you hear it at that same volume, but the level of coherency is as though it were in another room. Go ahead, Toria.
This is terrifying because this is how my house is and has been since I grew, my entire childhood.
I had similar vibes at your place.
Yeah, it sounds like you can hear our neighbors as if they were, in my house.
Exactly.
Or that there's, someone upstairs talking. Not walking around, but, the TV is on upstairs and it's not.
That's exactly the type of sound I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
no,
now,
so I know exactly what you're talking about, which is, kind of giving me goosebumps.
Now, the MBTA does run in front of my house, and so you will occasionally hear, across the street, but that's not what I'm talking about, because this happens after the T runs, and so you'll hear that, you'll hear the voices. I wouldn't say there's much in the way of footsteps, and lately it's been lulled down. I've reached a certain, peace with my ghosts, but there was one point where it was during, I'm editing the Rake episode 1, in prep for this whole beautiful podcast launch. Shit got very real at this point. And so, at one point, I was laying in bed, and I'm looking at my phone, so you see your phone, you see your peripherals, but they're out of focus, and it constantly looked like a head was rising up at the foot of the bed, like it was looking at you, and finally when you try to snap it into focus, it would go away.
What the fuck?
Ooh.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, that's bad.
That happened.
I wear glasses, and that
happened probably every night for about a week. And then
I'm getting so many chills. I don't like this.
And then, those phantom touches you get, kind of how you're sitting and it feels like something pokes your arm?
Yup.
No.
So, you're sitting there reading a book, and all of a sudden it feels like someone tapped your shoulder, but that's, something your nervous system does. It's I read about this somewhere, the reason we feel like your phone vibrates in your pocket when you don't is that your body does that naturally, but we're, attuned to look for that feeling. And, but I got that all over my body, as though things were poking me constantly all night. I didn't sleep these nights. And at one point, it even felt like something was reaching over the headboard and playing with the ends of my hair, which was a lot shorter at the time, to the point where I put my hand on my head to avoid this. Phantom touches on my hand.
No.
So-
No.
And there was one particular night
I slept there.
I know you did.
I'm going to sleep here tonight, man.
Exactly.
Passed out here so many times.
A lot of people have slept here.
The drunker you are, the easier it is.
And then one night,
true.
there was one night this was particularly bad. And it was right when I was editing the parts of the episode where we read the creepypastas about the rake. And so all this stuff is happening. I see the heads, coming up above that. I feel the touches. In my hallway, the bedroom door is closed. I didn't have a cat yet, so I kept the door closed. It's about 3 a.m., which if you know your hauntings, that is the witching
3 a.m.?
hour.
Yep.
That is when supposedly the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest.
Why?
I don't know.
Because the center of Axis is in California, so it's midnight for them.
I had to listen to those stories dozens of times. It was terrifying. So that might have influenced my mindset, but that night where I was finishing it was one of the most terrifying nights of my life, where I had the phantom touches I was discussing. I had the head rising above. But around 3 a.m., which as we mentioned was the witching hour, outside my door, I didn't have a cat yet, so there's no one else in my apartment. I heard what I can only describe as, when someone's walking down the hall, it's footsteps for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounded like, when a dog is on like a porcelain floor and it can't quite stand right. Yeah, it's like the scattering, like its paws aren't quite right. It sounded like that.
Yeah.
But with footsteps. There was no it was like footsteps skittering all over the floor. My bedroom door is closed and I'm, it's 3 a.m., but I can't sleep for the light. I couldn't sleep a wink during this episode's editing of episode 1, The Rake.
People have said that they lost sleep after listening to it.
I've heard that, and I absolutely did during editing it. That was like...
I did after recording it. We all did after recording it for a while. It was fucked up.
Yeah, but...
Did you? Did you, Sam? Did you really?
We've had our rake nights, Sam. Don't deny that we've had our rake nights.
Fuck you, Sam.
My point is,
to be fair, Sam falls asleep like
fuck
that.
you, Sam.
I've seen you pass out mid-conversation.
It's true. I've seen it.
Yeah, Brian's seen it.
I know you, but I barely know you, and I've seen it.
So,
Henny.
That was probably the worst night of my haunting, because I heard the voices, I had the phantom touches, I had the head rising above my bed, but those footsteps, the sound of that, will stay with me. I haven't heard that since or before, and every now and then I get the sound of the fucking voices, but at this point, it's like, I'm renting this place as much if a ghost is, so...
Yo, it's pretty crazy. So this is just very recently learned. But so you mentioned like 3 a.m. to like was around, and
the witching hour.
Yeah, most people know it as the witching hour, which actually has a really, really cool, pretty fucking metal history, if you ask me. Yeah. So I guess I don't know if anybody really knows, but in Islam there's like set prayer times.
Right.
Times throughout the day where you do your prayer thing or whatever.
You face towards
Mecca,
the Holy
yeah.
Land. Yeah, Mecca. I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
And you
pray.
You have to pray. Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you your sleeping bags?
Have you your salts and sacred idols?
This was an awfully spooky episode of the horrors that haunt us day to day. If you're dealing with horrors of the supernatural, leave us a viscous and organ-wretched message at Beasts of the Week iTunes, Beasts of the Week on Facebook, or The Truth is Stupid without the on Twitter.
And if this episode reminds you of any inner demons, please dial 800-684-2324.
This has been an episode so spooky, our Discord chat has completely shit the bed. And I fear for our co-hosts.
John Cannon.
Joey Maglinchi.
Brian Peterson.
Samuel Big Dick Harris.
And Toria Ainsworth.
Little Dick Toria Ainsworth.
That's rude.
I know. We want to thank our amazing fans for the consistent 5-star ratings on iTunes. We honestly do not deserve that, and we humbly thank you. We try to please. We have a big goal in the long run of being a podcast that everybody can sit down and enjoy, and we're very happy that you guys enjoy everything we have to offer. Please don't ruin that 5-star rating. It will happen. So, now that I said it.
Please don't ruin it. I beg of you.
I'm sorry, Tori. It's gonna happen.
I know.
And special thanks to our very own Trenton Nesbitt for his personal recommendation of the Scape or Swamp Lizard, which will, Trenton, be mentioned.
Until then, this is the remaining alive members of the Beast of the Week podcast, signing off.
I'm down here in the bunker. Toria, how much food do we have?
Not much, I'm afraid. I'm afraid we won't last long.
The only thing we have left to do is stay spooky.
You're right. Stay spooky.
Signing off. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather. No, can't do it. All right, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Okay, let's go for it.
Here we go.